I'm here with Gloria Blalock, who's been a designer for more than 20 years. Now, Gloria, you said this is a living room space, but you treat it like a salon. Why?
Correct. In the past, Doug, other designers have taken on the challenge of creating a living room in the living room and treating it typically as one would in your home. You have two sofas, you flank the sofa by chairs, you put a coffee table in the middle of the room, and it's your living room. This time around, I've decided to call it a grand salon because my clients have a home in London and they have moved to a penthouse here in Washington, D.C., and they do a lot of entertaining. So by making the perimeter of the room, the areas where you would come with your cocktail and sit down and chat with your friends, I've taken the typical living room and dissected it. And it's much better for entertaining. It's pretty much the way you find embassies here in Washington, D.C.
Looking around, I look up at the ceiling, there's a clock and a compass. Tell me about that.
There is. Well, again, this client brought to me a clock, an antique clock given to them by their family member, and an antique compass as well. And they wanted us to incorporate these pieces in the room, but instead of literally placing them in the room, I had my decorative painter, Lauren Bruce, create a ceiling motif with elements of each.
You said you're inspired by objects found mostly in nature. We have nature.
We do, we do. Another thing that I do quite often for my clients is that, again, because they do travel and they come back with pieces from all over the world, one of the things that I find is how do you best display a collection? And in this case, I created a cabinet of natural curiosities. And in it, we find coral, and we find shells, and we find rocks, and we find little mushrooms, and I've lit it also from different angles. So it just creates this soft light and just exemplifies this just beautiful display of collected items. And the clients were very pleased.
Now, as you said, there's seating in every corner of the room. Tell me what's going on in this corner.
Well, Doug, this is another corner of the Grand Salon, and here we have a settee from Century Furniture. And what's so lovely about this particular corner is that you could come and you could sit down, you could set your cocktail in this small martini table, and it's beautiful, it's warm. There is a painting called My Sister's Happiness, and we've also got some framed antique intaglios.
Tell us how our viewers can add glamour cost effectively.
Well, one of the best ways to showcase a collection, whether it be an antique intaglio or a small object, is to place it inside a shadow box. And these you can just do yourself. I mean, it's a great DIY project. And usually the best way to display them is to group them together. So a single one doesn't have as much oomph as a collection of them on the wall. And they really do look terrific.
More oomph.
More oomph, yes.
A room inspired by nature with stately elegance. Thanks very much, Gloria.
Thank you, Doug.
And you can see Gloria's creation right here at the Washington Design Center Spring Design House. The Spring Design House is free, open to the public, and runs through June 27th, 6 days a week. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. until 5 p.m., and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.